welcome back to The Spill. If you're new here, I'm Yemi, this is Jasmine, and here on The Spill, we feature amazing Black women-owned brands.
Today we really are going to be sipping, spilling, and tasting on some delicious teas with LaTonia of Adjourn Tea House. LaTonia is the owner and creator of Adjourn Tea House, which specializes in artisanal hand-blended loose leaf teas, and we are absolutely obsessed with. So go ahead, grab yourself some tea, and let's sample some teas and adjourn with LaTonia.
Oh, welcome, LaTonia.
Hi.
How are you?
We are good. We are fabulous. Good. It's Friday. Today is Friday, just so anybody knows. I mean, it's a good day.
Have the sun coming in on my right side. I'm so grateful.
Yes, I love that. It's gray out here, but
yeah, thank you so much for making time to meet with us.
Of course.
We are both very much obsessed with your teas.
Absolutely. I have a whole wall.
Yeah. She brings them over when she comes sometimes, and we will adjourn together in the middle of working. So.
That means so much to me. I didn't in a million years think that starting a business would, you would have so many people that were interested, and I'm sure you two are navigating the same sort of thing now, and that's so cool. I'm honored.
Awesome. Thank you. So I'm curious, how did you go from teas like a Lipton tea bag to making your own signature blends? Like how did you get into making teas?
Like, did you start off with being an herbalist first, or did that just all the stuff came to you?
I'm so glad you used the herbalist word, and you're introducing or talking about adjourn through that word. So I am not an herbalist. I enter the tea space from a sheer point of creativity and for a desire for self-care. So I grew up drinking tea. I mean, in my family, tea was also hot apple juice, water with lemon and honey, sometimes a hot toddy, apple cider. We call all of that tea. And so I grew up drinking tea. It was something that my mom and little sister and dad, even my dad, got into it, that just felt so sophisticated. And, I'm a lady after luxury anyway.
Yes, we love it.
I always thought it just made me feel so good. And so sort of fast forward, I can remember, even as a kid, opening tea bags and being like, what is this in there? And as I aged, I started to play around with loose leaf teas. I would say my superpower is attention to smell and attention to, different ingredients that could pair together. In addition to the research I do to make sure that the blends taste as good as they are, nourishing and good for your mental and overall well-being. So I always like to tell people, especially people that are like, can I use this to cure my pinky toe? And I'm just like, I'm not a doctor.
No.
Herbalist. I'm just a dope chick that likes dope teas. And really my medicine is the practice of pausing, right? So that's what I'm pushing as the medicine. And not as much the herbs. I think there are a couple Black brands out there where these women are herbalists that, they study this. And I'm just entering the space as it concerns herbalism.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love this. You're making teas, helping people pause, and a bit of a podiatrist side.
Not.
This is a form of healing. I mean, and I love it because it incorporates water, it incorporates herbs, and it incorporates, as you say, pausing.
Yes.
Getting to sit there. I view it as a pleasure, like sitting there, just taking a deep breath, taking it all in, and then sipping your tea. Like I take pleasure in that. To me, it is a luxury. It is a privilege. It is also a form of healing that if anybody is very much touched or moved by any form of water healing, I think that this is like one of the biggest categories, if you will, or forms. So I absolutely love that. Plus, I'm a, what do you call it? Is it a tea person?
Yeah, a tea
Tour.
Yes.
Yes. So that really was my intention to begin with. I just felt like, especially as women of color, we move and we keep going. And losing my mother to breast cancer over 6 years ago, one of the things that we talked about in her final days was, being able to take a break. Like, she was really tired. And I don't know if we pause enough to really think about how exhausted we are as women, and specifically as women of color, carrying the burden, working as hard as we do, and not being given, like, we're almost told to get out there and be the strong Black woman, go do your thing.
Exactly.
Hey, right. And I just, when my mother passed away, I was diagnosed with an anxiety condition. Just lots of stress was bringing that about. And it occurred to me that the way I can combat anxiety is to stop what I'm doing and breathe. And incorporating that into my most anxious moments. I pulled over on the side of the road and just, as a teacher, I had a little office, I would go shut my door, make a cup of tea, and I would breathe. And it's a sustainable luxury, right? You don't need money to do this.
That's a birthright. That's a God-given. Well, and you know what? And some of us don't have the fortunate privilege of just taking a deep breath. And some people truly have to have oxygen in order to breathe.
Right.
So I never even thought about that until just now.
Think about it that way, right?
And it is like, it's a form of meditation too, because I teach meditation, and sometimes what we'll do is like a fun activity to get people thinking about meditation in a different way is to do like tea or coffee meditation, where you just connect to the tea, you spend time smelling it, feeling the warmth.
Oh, speaking of which,
it.
Can we smell some of these?
Yes. Let's go to the meditation adjourning time.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get to the fun.
This is like my favorite part. When the tea arrives, I just open it up and I just start smelling. We have four here.
I think so. I sent you guys some love.
Yes. Okay.
I can't see what you think. Home sweet, the rim shot.
Rim shot.
What does it smell like?
I'm gonna cheat a little bit and read what's in there.
Oh, that smells.
Oh, that smells so good. So are all of your teas
like
based
a
off
cinnamon bun?
Yeah, right?
Oh my God. I didn't know it would smell that good. Like,
thank you. Yes, rim shot's a blend of cacao shells. So it has all the chocolate flavoring, but without the calories. I also put chicory root, so it has a little bit of that mocha coffee taste without the caffeine, of course. And then I added cinnamon and toasted coconut. So, everything have a story. And so that is like my ode to my college days of going to coffee houses and spoken word enrichment with my homegirls. And then of course my muse, someone I love, Erykah Badu. I love what she does.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are all of them named after like Erykah Badu, like songs and words in her songs, or
all of them? But definitely, her music or that whole era is a source of inspiration for sure.
Okay.
Rim shot. Rim shot.
Yes.
She is my favorite, like, morning like musician artist to listen to. So I love listening to her. I'll light my incense, I'll have my like coffee or tea in the morning. That's my way to start my day off. So
I typically play her when like it's funny how you are in your studio. I typically play her. I have a playlist on my Spotify called Studio, and I have her all throughout it, but I use her when I want to write. When I need to like use my journal to like think out ideas. Yeah. So I definitely play her a lot. Yeah. I definitely play her a lot when I want to feel like I'm in the studio. And I want to like get my like creative, like,
Yeah.
have a little herb.
Yeah.
I just love that she does her thing. She's my reminder to just get out there and do your thing.
Yeah.
Which one may not be created because it's in your head, it's in your being. You have to manifest that shit. So that's what I'm all about. It's a good question. So adjourn is very simple. It means literally the word is you're going to stop something for a period of time. You come back to it later. So we hear the word a lot. And I'm speaking as a teacher. I have to kick myself out of teachers. I was a teacher for 10 years. But when I started thinking about the brand, what I loved about the word adjourn, it doesn't mean that you stop. That pressure of, I can't go sit in a corner and meditate for, 30 minutes, or I don't have time to go do this. I don't have time to take a break. But you do.
Yes.
And any amount of time it's useful. That adds up throughout your day. So adjourn literally means to stop what you're doing for a moment in time and take a breath.
Okay.
Use the tea to help you adjourn. But give yourself back some space and some energy as you move throughout your day.
Love it. Yeah, give yourself some space and some time.
Yes, I love that.
A gift that we can all give ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I also, whenever I hear the word adjourn, I also think of like the phrase like, extend yourself some grace.
Yes.
Mine too. So
yes,
love it.
Absolutely. I found that when I started I'm still a recovering perfectionist.
I'm a recovering perfectionist.
Yes. I'm in my practice of making sure that I'm decentering perfectionism, but specifically, in my research on communities of color, we often work super hard to be super perfect because we have to be, and that's just killing us.
Absolutely.
Blank, we have to breathe. We have to say no sometimes. We have to adjourn. And then we got to come back to stuff,
I saw something on social media the other day where I don't know who it was. I can't even remember what the full post was about or what it was saying, but I know at some point she mentioned that she was realizing that she was dealing with PTSD from maybe not just one traumatic event, but several that she didn't understand or did not really react to as though they were traumatic. And I can't imagine how many women, especially Black women, things that we experience that we don't even know, even if it's a microaggression, we don't even know that it was actually very traumatic to our nervous system, our psyche, or whatever, our spirit, our bodies, our hearts, and we just, as you said, we just keep going. So by the time someone is tired, they're not just tired, they're probably past the point of being tired.
And the fact of the matter is, in this particular country, a lot of us, especially communities of color, deal with PTSD. I was, when I started teaching there, we're doing studies on inner city communities and how children in inner cities oftentimes have a higher rate of PTSD than children in Iran, other countries. Yeah. So there's a lot of research on the PTSD, the stress that we carry, and then that trauma continues, So what if it occurred to me, what if I had the power of working on this?
Right.
While I'm still young, I don't have children just yet. I don't know if I am, but while I'm still here and young, what would happen if I decided to pause more often, if I decided to prioritize rest? The NAP ministry, I know you were telling me, shout out a couple other businesses that I really am interested in, but her teachings have been important to me. Just a reminder to put it down and come back to it later.
Who did you say?
The NAP ministry.
No, but thank you for introducing us to her.
No, we're gonna look this up.
Yeah.
I mean, she may be someone that you want to reach out to in general, but her practice and the work she does is all about using naps as resistance, and especially for women of color.
Wow, I love that. Oh my God, naps can be so luxurious and just amazing. I took a nap last weekend and I still remember how I felt coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do. Okay. So we'll do some taste testing with the 4 that we have. We've got
Rim shot.
Rim shot.
This is, what is it? Sunday morning. Sunday morning is really good. Afro blue.
Yeah.
So excited.
And then home sweet. Or is it sweet home? Nope, it's home sweet.
Yeah.
It makes me want to say home sweet home.
It does.
Awesome. Okay. So you wanna add so
We can start with rim shot. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we both wanted to start with rim shot.
I'm just really feeling that vibe. I've got the song playing in my head. So
it says 1 to 2. So I'll just do 1 or 2 of these.
Yep, 1 or 2 is good. And rim shot is one of the blends that you don't want to steep forever. So a couple minutes, 1 to 2 minutes is good. And then you can take the filter out.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
And I think, so when I think about tea brewing, you also pay attention a bit more, right? When you work with Lucy teas, you want to make sure you get the flavor just right. That's almost a forced pausing. It's making you, settle down and be a part of the process.
Yeah, I smell the cacao.
It smells so, oh my gosh.
It smells so chocolate.
Do you even need honey for this? Like, is this good by itself?
Some people drink it without any sweeteners. I do add just a little bit of honey. I think honey enhances the chocolate and the coconut flavor. So yeah, I like it with honey. I also like it with milk. You can make like a nice latte with that.
Oh yeah, you have a frother.
Yes, I do.
I also have a frother.
Oh, you do?
I got a frother special for this. I got the same kind that you do, the little handheld one. Yeah, I saw that you had that.
I need to get one myself. Okay.
$10, less than $10, honestly, a couple places. But again, it causes you to slow down and make the perfect cup of tea.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes tops. And that's what I always tell people. I'm not asking for much, right? I'm not pushing you to do much. 10 minutes tops to give back to yourself.
Right. You can do this at your desk. You can do this at your computer. You can do this in the kitchen while you're watching TV.
Yeah. And the color is like getting nice and brown and chocolatey.
Yes.
This one is nice and rich. And if you want to intensify the flavor, then you can leave it in there longer. But I normally do. It's a good 2 minutes. I'm good to go.
Okay.
So I guess we're good.
It's ready to pour. Ooh, I love the warmth too.
Yeah.
Like that feeling of warmth in your hands.
Yeah.
Especially on like a cold day.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, ladies. Cheers.
Oh, this smells so, I didn't even, my gosh. You don't have almost every tea except rim shot. I don't know why I don't have rim shot yet. Maybe because every time I try to order it, it's always out of stock.
Yeah, which one is the most popular? Like which one do people?
Afro blue for sure.
Yeah.
I would say a close second is rim shot.
Okay.
And then after that, Sunday morning, those 3.
Yeah.
And then I have a lot of customers that just have their faves that order, a few every couple weeks because they're like really into it.
Yeah.
Do you recommend for someone who's new to the Adjourn Tea House brand that they try anything specific? Like, is there one that you recommend to people?
So I have 2 blends that are herbal currently. I am coming out with about 6 different blends over the next month or 2. And so I have a lot of, and I've saved one today to preview to show you guys. But if you are into decaf teas or teas without caffeine at all, I would do Love Freeze or Rim Shot. Both are really good. Love Freeze is so relaxing and calming with chamomile and lavender. That's a good before bed tea. And then if you're looking for something with a little caffeine, my favorite right now is Kinfolk. So that has ginger. Yes, ginger, sage. I chose a really nice, light, fruity black tea, so it's not going to be as heavy on the palate. And then it also has mint. And so that one is just really lovely. I add a little bit of almond milk to that one too, and it's almost like a peppermint patty. It's so good.
You know what? Actually, when I first tried Kinfolk, I didn't realize that it was black tea. It almost reminds me of a green tea.
Yeah, right?
Because it is light. I'm not going to lie. I was very surprised. I was like, this is a black tea?
Yeah.
My favorite, like, store-bought green tea is, it's like Zen or something.
The Starbucks brand.
Is that a Starbucks brand? Okay, so it's a Starbucks brand.
Or
Sorry,
Stack.
Bill.
I don't know, maybe not.
I can't get my phone to show y'all, but it tastes better than that tea, and that's my favorite green tea. So for me, it was like, oh my gosh, if I didn't have green tea anymore, I would know, because I'm drinking this this black tea over here that reminds me of a green tea, but it's a black tea. But anyway, it's really balanced and it's really good. Like, I don't even know how long does it take you to say, all right, this is the formula, this is the recipe, we're good here?
I get asked that question a lot. Like I say, I enter the space as a creator, right? I'm an artist. I am not a medicine woman or an herbalist where I know that these ingredients, I do the research, right? So if I know I want to use, and one of my newest blends, Pause, has ashwagandha. So I do the research to make sure that I know what I'm preparing for people. But really, I allow myself to really get into a deep creative space. I have a table cleared. I have a bunch of tea ingredients. I put a bunch of sample cups. I have my water, my water kettle. I have my tea bags and infusers. I turn on music, my incense, and I just allow myself to play. And what comes from that is usually something really beautiful. And there are a lot of them that, I made some duds. But the ones that really stick are the ones that I bring to you all. Yeah. And then I do a second round of testing. I usually reach out to friends and family, get people's opinions. So I'm not just making it in the confines of my own space and saying, here, take this tea. Yeah. I'm actually going through a testing process. And prior to COVID-19, I would do tea parties. And that's where I would unveil and test and get feedback, because I want people to enjoy it, right? When you
have a tea party, I'm like, oh, can we bring it back?
Well, when all of this is gone, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I absolutely want to, but I'm gonna need to not get COVID. So when this is over, you got it.
Yeah, when it's all good there.
Right.
I want your reaction when you picked it up and you said, that smells so good. Oh, the cup is warm. Oh, the first sip. All of those, that's all a part of meditation, like you said, Yemi. That's all a part of a journey. And that's what I want the reaction to be. I want you to be fully engaged.
Okay, so now we're ready to try Afro Blue. So I noticed that you give folks directions, little instructions on. So I noticed you give these little cards that tell folks how hot to get the water. And so for Afro Blue, you don't want it to be too hot. Is that right?
Yeah, so this is a white tea. So you want the water to be a little steamy, tiny bubbles in your tea kettle. Or if you have a thermostat, you want the temperature to be like 185, 195.
Oh, that's good.
Too hot or not hot enough, and then you won't get the flavor that you want.
That's so we put a little in. Just waiting for the colors start to change.
And Afro Blue is such a cool blend because it has butterfly pea flowers. It's also a chai, so it has all the traditional chai spices of ginger, cardamom. I use white peppercorn instead of black pepper, cloves. Also has some lemongrass, and then the white tea, which gives it a lighter taste, but still a lot of the chai spiciness.
Can you see? It's like you can slowly see it start. Well, I don't know if a camera will pick it up, but from here I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Sometimes what I do to get my brew moving is I just take the infuser out and shake it a little bit. You know, you want to move it around. Yeah, give it some movement, shaking around. Let them know you're here.
Yes, there it goes.
It's like playing with your food or your tea.
There we go. So some of the color is popping through.
Yes. Looks so blue.
Yeah, and we're gonna make this a latte.
Oh, cool.
So what do we froth before or after?
I like to froth my milk separately. Where is your milk? Is it in your cup? Okay, I froth it a little bit, and then I pour in the tea, and then I froth it again.
Okay.
So we froth it a little. Froth it. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a little froth now, and then add a bit of tea, and then froth again. I think you're almost good to go. Yeah.
Ooh,
this looks so good.
I've never had blue latte before. This is so cool.
Yeah, this is I think this one is so popular because of the pea flower. And I'm glad people are getting into different teas. There are a lot of other brands that are incorporating butterfly pea flower. And it's just something cool to have in your cabinet or in your pantry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It is a manifestation. When I was in high school, I'm from Virginia, and I won a competition for a business plan. Coincidentally, I always forget this, and my sister reminds me it was for a candle and tea shop. And here we are. So I wouldn't say 5 years ago that I ever anticipated being here. Not in a million years. But your stars align, and I think it's important, when you are reminded of your genius and when you are given the opportunity to create, to be intentional about allowing yourself to engage in that and to go forward. It is scary as hell. This is hard. Running 2 weekends ago, I was telling my husband, I was like, maybe I could just go back and be a teacher. Like, this is hard. It's so much. But for my particular journey, it's been worth it. And I would say definitely a manifestation. And as a result, I continue to manifest. Like I feel where I want my life to be. And as long as that includes adjourn, I'm going to keep rolling.
That's
awesome. That is amazing.
Yeah. Well, we hope this holiday season brings even more amazing things into your life, more things for you to manifest. And thank you so much for adjourning with us,
and letting us adjourn with you as well.
Pleasure. My absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, LaTonia. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for yet another episode. We are still enjoying these teas. And speaking of which, you guys might want to head over to LaTonia's website at adjournteahouse.com to sign up for alerts as they run out of stock fast, okay? And also, you know where to find us. We're right here on YouTube as well as Facebook and Instagram. See you next episode.